It's about the time to talk it out.
Let's talk, let's talk.
It's time to talk it out. It's time to talk it out.
Let's talk, let's talk.
You know it's time to talk it out.
Hey, what's going on? It's your boy Chill, all the way from the U.S. on your favorite talk show in the universe. Talk it out. I'd like to thank everybody out there in the Caribbean for watching. All of the great people in the Eastern Canada and in some places also in the U.S. We've got a great segment for you today. I have a serious global engineer I'm interviewing today. So for all you people out there in the music business and whatnot that are looking to really get out there and get yourself in tune, hey, this is the episode you want to be in tune with today. So without further ado, I like to bring on, of course, the one and only Godxilla.
Yo, what's going on? Hey, everybody, how y'all doing?
Godxilla, how you doing, baby?
Great, all day long.
Hey, of course, I have to acknowledge the lovely and wonderful DeVos, all the way in Toronto, Canada, at headquarters, and the crazy, not knowing what he's gonna say next, Hugh. And my man, my partner, my counterpart and co-host as well, the man that you don't know what he's going to say either, DJ Despair out of Winnipeg. Oh, man. I have been looking forward to this interview all weekend.
Awesome,
Godxilla is a man of many talents, a man that's just known across the country for his abilities in the studio. So I'm done talking. Godxilla, please tell them how long you've been doing this and, you know, all of that good stuff about who you are, where you're at, all of that.
Okay, cool. My name is Chris Taylor. My friends call me Godxilla. Thank you for having me on. Thank you for everybody who's watching around the world. Appreciate it so much. I'm a recording engineer and beat maker. I got started in like 1986, so I'll date myself and give you guys a little bit of a backslash on how old I might be. From that point on, I guess I've been fortunate to be blessed to work with a lot of really great people in my career. Be a part of some really cool projects. And really, I think that at this point in my life, for what we're doing with our career, I think this is really the most exciting time, I think, for me to be alive and be in music. Right now, I just opened a new facility called the Mountaintop in Glendale, Wisconsin. For a year, I've been in this room working and making records and all the other media projects that I'm working on. But just last month, I opened a video production facility next door because I'm doing a lot of video production work as well. And for me, just the ability to run from a camera to Pro Tools and back and forth and without setup and tear down or anything is really, really fortunate. As far as the projects that I've been working on, there are a lot of music projects. I guess one of the bigger projects that I work on currently is called Disney Heroes Battle Mode. It's an iOS video game made by a company called Per Blue out of Madison, Wisconsin. So I'm very fortunate to do freelance sound design for them and get my hands on iconic characters like I was able to play the drums for Animal or, you know, sound design for Donald Duck and Miss Piggy and stuff like that. So Minnie Mouse. It was really sweet to get my hands in that level of entertainment and say, you know, there's something I said, I got a chance to touch the Muppets and half the Disney characters. I mean, who gets to do that? You know what I mean? So those kinds of things are things we're working on. We're also working on a project with an artist from Milwaukee named Baby Drew. And we completed 2 albums in like the last 3 months on this guy. One is a street rap album, and the other one's a blues album. And his first single called My Weakness is actually spinning in the South right now, and it features blues legend Sir Charles Jones. So I have those things going on, and we have a bunch of other artists that we could talk about and get into. I'll let you get some questions in, Joe. I don't know where to start, where to go with that.
Well,
I'll tell you, you caught me outside though with that picture you used to promote it. That was my in my hotel. I'm so sexy picture, and then now I look at it and it's on your page. And it's like we talking to him today, y'all.
well, I would tell you one thing that I want to bring up about Godxilla that to me is just so impressive is that Godxilla actually was an educator as well. Tell them a little bit about that, Godxilla.
Yeah, well, I was the my final title was Dean of Student Services at Madison Media Institute. It was a media college that had about a 45-year run in Wisconsin for arts and media. I started as an adjunct instructor and worked all my way up to Dean of Student Services, but it was really cool along the way because I got a chance to learn Pro Tools directly at Abbott. You know, I learned Pro Tools from the people who wrote the books, the guys whose names are on the books, the women whose names are on the books. Get a chance to sit in a room and they teach you these kinds of things. So as an educator and somebody who's taught Pro Tools for so many years, it was really recording. It was really a treat to be able to work with the people on numerous occasions at Abbott, and very thankful for the opportunities to work with them. That also allowed me to propel from education and instruction into politics. So lightly, because I was an arts commissioner for the city of Madison as well. So it gives us a really good chance for me, a really well-rounded look at how what we do in urban and what we do in media can really cross over and be valuable to society as a whole. And I think that becomes a lot of the key for crossover for understanding cultures and community in general, is that we look at what we have and have the ability to share it so that culture is not just shared through words and discussion, but also through music and entertainment. And being an arts commissioner gave me a lot of chance to understand fusion programming from hip hop and classical to you know, gospel and rock. So that in itself was a really good look. And then after I did taught for 6 years in Madison, I moved to Los Angeles and I was a Hollywood sound recorder for 2.5 years or so, and that gave me a chance to work at Bleacher Report with some really cool names and some really cool people in sports and entertainment as a freelancer out there in Los Angeles, and some really cool movies and commercials too. So it's really a good time.
Godxilla's a very humble man. He's worked with some pretty big names that you'll be familiar with. Matter of fact, Godxilla, you know I'm about to put you on the spot, right? You know,
okay, cool. Do what you do, man. It's TV. Let's have some fun.
Go ahead and let the people know some of the people you work with. Go ahead and brag a little bit, brother.
No, fortunately, I keep them on the wall, so that makes it easy. That way I don't have to talk much in the studio. Kobe Bryant got arrested. I got a chance to work with him in Beverly Hills. Too Short, Scarface. Bushwick Bill was a really close friend of mine. Roy Elkins, Butch Vig, Tretch from Naughty by Nature, Big Mike, Busy Bone, DMC, Dungeon Family, Sleepy Brown, KRS-One. KRS-One was a really, I did Now Hear This in 2015, KRS-One album. In the last 4 or 5 months, I've worked with Afro Man, RBX, Tyler Yahweh, I don't know, I lose count sometimes. Sir Charles Jones, PK Soul. It's been a lot of people that we've just been making records with. It's beautiful. Like, I came in Friday morning at 8 and I left the studio Saturday night at 9 p.m. You know, I don't try to do that regularly, but I have that much work on the table right now where it's like I had to change my number because it was just too distracting when people calling.
Yeah. And, you know, I love it because at least I don't get sent to voicemail all the time.
Now you get the call right back, actually. It's never you, man. You my guy. You my man, 100 grand. So here's the thing. As an entrepreneur, and you're an entrepreneur, I rarely discuss business and things that I'm doing with people who aren't entrepreneurs because it's tough for people to relate when they haven't chunked their money down or they're dreaming at time and they chase that goal that they're on. You and I are somebody who regularly chase goals. So we call each other with successes. We call each other with failures. We call each other to congratulate. We call each other to commiserate. These are things that we do in entertainment regularly. So whenever one of us scores a point, I think we're the first people we call. So
Yeah.
because of that, you're on the inside of my career and I'm on the inside of your career. So, and congratulations to all your successes too, man.
Thank you, Godxilla. Oh, by the way, this episode is brought to you by Mobbed Up Water. Make sure to hydrate. Don't forget about it. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. And yes, it is empty, DJ Despair. I drank it. Okay. All right. So with that being said, DJ Despair, I'll start with you. I know your eyebrows went up a little bit when he said Afro Man, because that's your buddy.
Oh man, I mean, a lot of the names he said I've been happy to work with and I've been on stage with, so it's just an honor. Like, I know his catalog. I've known you from I watched you, because I'm the type of person that actually reads the credits, so I know that I know what you've done. So I appreciate it.
Dang.
Because I get the records all the time, right? So it's like when I see your name on the back of it, I know something. So I know you've worked with a lot of people in the industry. So as far as the game's gone so far, how did you adapt with the changing of from our era to digital now?
Oh, that was easy. I was broke. I was broke when it was analog. I was dead broke. I was young man when it was analog. It's a great story because ADAS, you got 8 tracks of audio for $2,000 when the ADAS were out. I was like 21, 22. I had came from a two-inch tape world, but we never dreamed of owning a 2-inch tape machine. So when people started getting ADAS, I couldn't afford those. And here I am with a little Tascam 4-track, and everybody's running around with ADAS. And when I realized that a regular, I had like a little gateway PC and it could record. I realized it could record, so I started calling everybody and saying, "Hey, you guys got some software can make this computer run like a track machine?" Nobody who sold computers had ever heard of it. Then I got a hold of one studio called Taylor Pro in Milwaukee, in West Dallas. He said, "Yeah, we run Logic 2." I said, "Logic 2, we talking about like 1997, 98. I was like, "Okay, how much?" He said, $500. So $500, I was able to go and buy 30 tracks where everybody else was paying $2,000 for 8. So when ADAT heads wore out and that went the way of the dinosaur, everybody was like, "Well, here's this digital thing. How do we do this?" Like, guess who was already here?
It's funny that you say that because Chill and I have been laughing about this for a while because we've been doing the radio and the online conferences and stuff for about 10 years now. This has been going on. And people are now starting to realize, after 6 years ago, Periscope came in and people didn't know nothing about streaming. And it's now we're in the digital world now where COVID hit. And then now everybody's like, how do we do this now? How do we go live? How do we perform? How do we get our music to this? How do we get our music to these DJs? How are you guys doing this online? I'm just sitting back just Yeah, it took too long.
That move again. It's like Mr. Smithers on The Simpsons.
Oh man. I've had my own app for about 10 years now, and I'm just laughing at people just trying to get it now because people are like, why do I want to download your app for? Now it's like, man, you're doing too much. It's just
that's what you're doing is a lot of work though, and I understand programming a radio station is one thing. Let's go program a TV station. Okay. So hats off to y'all for doing it because I look at it, I just say I couldn't even make that length of a commitment to something, man. I'm too artsy.
Chill
not to say people who aren't artsy, but the day to day would just bug me. It would bug me for real.
Oh, I'm a geek, man. So Chill just leaves me alone and let me just go and explore things. So I just learn.
And I have to give. Go ahead, guys.
I just actually got into Wirecast myself and got a couple wireless transmitters and receivers. I did some beat battle stuff down in St. Louis last year with Fresh Produce, and I love what they have for broadcast. They had wireless cameras. They were doing interviews and things like that. So I bought Wirecast and a couple Black Magic switchers, man, and I went ahead and got down for mine too. It's nice when you have fundamentals. You can just ball into anything and just I want to do some of that.
Yeah, and I know that our tech guy here on the line, Hugh, he's just itching to ask you a couple of questions, guys.
Oh, please, man, let's have them, man. Let's have this fun, man. I like questions. Man.
It's like a meeting of the minds here.
Right.
On international TV.
Big. Well, you know what? Here's the thing. This is what happens behind the scenes. So it's like when you and I talk, we don't just say, hey man, how you doing? And go talk. We talk about everything that we're doing because we're looking for places where we can cross over. It's rarely you and I have a meeting and some money doesn't get exchanged and it doesn't have anything to do with our pocket. Somebody else was able to make a move because you and I talk. That happens every time we talk.
Every time. Yeah.
So, yeah.
Hugh, your turn.
Well, thanks, Chill. You know, and D-Boss might want to chime in too, but I mean, I was just, I heard you mention Trev from Naughty by Nature, and I'm just curious, you down with OPP?
Oh my God! Oh my! Oh,
I love you, baby. Absolutely not.
the whole. There you go. Focus, man. Hey, we do this night thing, Godzilla. We're gonna ask the crazy question. Yeah.
That's one of those, huh?
Okay. All right. We had
Hey, man, hey, he don't know that the O in OPP has been changed to O.
Right.
It's not pretty like it was in the late 90s, Jack.
Oh man, that is crazy. You know, speaking of Trench, I have to acknowledge this. You know, I had a club about a year and a half, 2 years ago or so, something like that. And Godzilla actually arranged to bring Trench to my club.
Yeah. I actually did a Tretch and Coolio record called "Stop Snitching" a few years back. It's crazy. You'll never heard it, but there's so many records in Hollywood you'll never hear that'll never come out. Like, it's crazy. I've actually heard KRS-One on trap beats.
Huh.
Like, but you'll never hear those records. I mean, I've heard a little bit of Detox. You'll just never hear it.
Wow. That's interesting. D-Boss, I see you got one. Your finger went up.
That's one of my trademarks. I have two questions for Godzilla.
Sure.
The first question I have is, how did you get your name?
Okay.
And the second one is, who was the hardest person that you had to produce?
Okay, my name is easier than the hardest person that I had to produce. I got my name because I was a pro wrestler. In the Backyard Federation when Backyard Feds really started springing up, and my name was Tank Taylor in the league. And my opponent's name was King Kong Cologne. Well, his name is Alex Cologne. He's actually a Milwaukee Sheriff's deputy at this point. Big old Puerto Rican dude. I mean, he was bigger than me. And we wrestled for a year. And when you do business with somebody, it's called We Did Business, because we just went around and every match was our match, right? We had our high spots and things that we would do to get the crowd up and stuff like that. So on the microphone, if you're King Kong, I'm Godzilla became part of the discussion. And wrestling was something I had to make a choice at some point. Like, either you're going to wrestle or you're going to make records. And I chose to make records. And that the name came with me from the wrestling situation. So that was there. And it's funny, you would ask who was the toughest person that I ever had to work with in the studio, because I'm pretty flighty. If I don't like it, I'm out real quick. I'm old and been around too long to sit around for abuse as an engineer. So
There's going to be someone.
No, but I would say for the most part, I'm the guy that, everybody's an engineer until it's broken, right? Everybody's a recording engineer until it don't work no more, and then I get a call. So I would say usually when I walk into the room, it's a different vibe than when most people walk into the room, just because by virtue of what I'm able to accomplish, I guess. I actually saw, and this is funny that we would actually go right back to the homie, because I love him and he's a great, good guy to work in the studio with. But I actually had Tretch yelling at Sticky Fingers to go and record in the booth with no music on. So he just, no, go say this. And it's like, what do you want me to say, Tretch? Tretch like, just go say the thing. What do you want me to say? Okay, well, I'm going to do it. Okay, Tretch. And so he says it and he records it. And then Tretch has me like placing it on beat after Sticky leaves the room. And he did the same thing with Mad Lion after that. And it really, I have actually taken time to record people without music on because I wanted them to give me a different recording than they would normally give me if the music was playing. Those are two different vibrations. But I never really thought about taking that and making it a part of the actual track after the fact. So now what I've been doing, and we don't have music laying around, somebody comes and says, hey, I want to make some records with you. Okay, great. What's your idea? How does it go? Let me hear it. There isn't a catalog of things like, here, play this beat. What do you think? Play the next beat. If you want to play the next beat, there are plenty of people who do that for you. I'm here to work with people, so people will come and give me an idea. And as they give me that idea, then I make the music custom for that idea. That vibration that we create musically goes along with what a person is saying. So that, I think that experience with Tretch, though, gave me the ability to like really listen to what people are saying and hear what they're saying for what they're saying, not hear what they're saying for how it identifies with my music. It's what you're saying, and then I'm going to make it work no matter what.
Well, I got a challenge for you, Godxilla.
Okay.
I want you to make a beat to match my voice.
But you have to sing something though. you have to sing something. I have to hear the energy that you're singing, and then we'll get right back with it for sure. No problem.
All right.
Well, actually, I got a question about that because don't you have to, like, if you're the rapper, don't you need to kind of have the music going to come up with the cadence to deliver it?
Oh, absolutely not. Absolutely not. I have theories about songwriting, and that basically is like fundamentally what it's based upon for me. For me, a song is an emotion, right? So you would say that you have to have a beat or a cadence for somebody to jam to, but no, I woke up today and I feel like it was going to be a good day, or I'm gonna be on TV. Hey, so now today I'm going to be on TV. It's how I woke up. It's an emotion. I'm going to be on TV. Let me get my hair right, get everything fresh. Going to be on TV. Got a new shade. Yeah, be on TV. So now I got an idea. I have an emotion. So now when I get that emotion, I'm going to syncopate that emotion, which is to give it some timing. Yay, today I'm going to be on TV. Yeah, now I got time. I'm going to be on TV. Yeah, today I'm going to be on TV. Now if I want to intonate it, get a pitch. Yeah, today I'm going to be on TV. Yeah, today I'm going to be on TV. Yeah, today I'm going to be on TV. Boom, 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 boom. And at that point, we just get loose and we go for it. And that's his record. And everything he makes is like that. That's it. From scratch. And like Baby Drew featuring Sir Charles. My weakness is spinning right now through the South, and it's starting to catch on down there. And everything on we did 2 records on this guy, Milwaukee Legend. And everything that's on there was because it just went from scratch, and we had ideas, and we don't make them just because we thought about it. We make them because somebody said, I feel this way, and the music showed up for them.
So with all of that being said, what type of advice would you give, say, the young, determined artist out here, trying to make it in the business?
There ain't no genie. You can't go rub a lamp and be like, hey, let me in the game, y'all. No, you can't do that. I had a piece of advice that I put up the other day. I worked 36 hours on Friday because, sorry, the heat came on. Let me know if that bothers y'all because the air just came on. I worked 36 hours on Friday because I had so much work, but I have a theory. Like, when it come in, turn it right back around. Don't have it come in and sit on it and be like, okay, some work came in. As soon as I get to it, I'm going to get this money, y'all. It's like, no, it came in already. What are you waiting on? Get the money off the table and go right back. And something else that I'm really, really big on, and this is going to be a huge one, and I think that this is a great one for your earning potential and your longevity in the business, is do not, by any circumstances, make any art with anybody who you feel is questionable and might get you riled up or upset inside. Like, if you find yourself talking to somebody in a business negotiation or while y'all discussing the record, and you feel like inside the thing that they just said kind of hurt you a little bit, don't take that job. Because if they can do that at the beginning of the discussion, they're gonna do that throughout the process of creating this project. And that vibration ain't going to be good for your long-term outlook. Because the record, when somebody calls now, it's an annoying call. It's not, hey, here go my person, we finna get down. It's like, here go this person. Like, don't take that job. Because you ain't going to do that job like you're going to do the person that wants to. And there's nothing wrong with you not taking a job. If somebody called on me, you got to take the job. I only take the jobs with people that I want to work with, that I like to work with, that are actually talking about what I want to hear. And you would think like that would mean less money, but the reality is those are the people you handle with extra care. The people that really are give you that energy and that flow that you want, you handle them with extra care, because I only have 5, 6, 7 artists around here, and I don't work for nobody else. That's it. I don't even take no clients right now. Somebody might be able to pay the VIP rate, which my website says I have, and you can get in. But outside of that, not interested. And for the most part, you can't even call and say I want to get in. I'm just busy because I want to be available for the people that take care of me within 24 hours notice.
Mm-hmm. Well, I'll tell you this. That was a mouthful right there.
Yes, it
That's
was.
a lot, yeah.
Yeah. So tell me real quick here, what was your most memorable moment? Matter of fact, not memorable. This is going to be interesting. What was your most craziest moment in the studio, Godxilla? And I say this ought to be interesting because I know you've had plenty. So I want to know, in front of the million households that are watching us, tell me your most craziest moment. It has to be censored.
I know, we get better. I can tell it. I got it for you already. And it wasn't watching 50-year-old rappers spray paint airsoft guns and look tough on video. That wasn't it. Somebody went into the office at the studio. I don't know if people understand studio etiquette. This is the captain's chair. This chair actually, I don't know if you can see it on TV, but it actually has the bat logo on the back of it, right? This is the captain's chair. It's studio etiquette. Don't go sit in the captain's chair. If the studio has an office, don't go in the office. Somebody was spotted one day coming out to the studio's office. And everybody was like, what is that about? Before you knew it, the entire studio was on lockdown, including me in Studio A, and I was just kind of in my zone. This was a studio where I've seen people get banned over picking up $5. So this person decided they were going to lift something worth a couple $1,000s, and then they left without hands, really. Their hands was like this when they left. I don't know if they played the piano or not. I hope they was rappers, because when they left, they had stretched them out like it was in Casino. And this is really good, because for me, studio culture, studio etiquette and studio culture says if you leave it in the studio, when you come back, it's there.
Yeah.
I have to be responsible for some of the most prized possessions and recordings that people have in the world. I mean, from Corrupt to Exhibit to Bishop Lamont, LaToya Williams, I got all this stuff with me right now that was entrusted to me to make sure that if the day comes, I come back for it, you have it. So somebody rented my video studio the other day, and I walked in today, and I saw this. And I'm like, what is this? That ain't my name, but it's in my house. So I recognized whose name it was, and it's like, hey, I don't know what's in here, but I'm not going to find out. You can come get it. Like, that level of care for me is like, those are crazy moments. The craziest moment in the studio was saw somebody leave with really not the way they came in, because they decided to take something that wasn't theirs. But it also really reinforces across the board that this is how this culture is. It has to be an honest culture. You think we have all these movies and all these albums, all your favorite celebrities, all the engineers got copies of the recordings. You don't hear them come out. We're secure like banks.
Yeah. Yeah. Wow. That was interesting. So tell everybody, Godxilla, where they can find your social medias. Tell everybody, your website, all the good stuff that they need to know.
It's easy. If you're looking for me on social, Instagram or Twitter, I'm usually on Twitter, really, believe it or not. I don't read stories and stuff like that people post. I ain't got time. But you can ask me questions or catch up with me. Godxilla 414, Godxilla 414 on Twitter or Instagram. If you want to hear some of the music we're working on, some of the stuff we have going on, you can go to rawconepirates.com. Spell it just the way it's on, rawconepirates.com. And a lot of the fellows that I work with around here, we call ourselves the Raw Cone Pirates because it's the Great Lakes and we out here, you know, pilfering marijuana as we please. So we're pirates in that respect. And,
DJ Despair loves you now.
You don't understand. I already inboxed you. I'm trying to work, so I'm good. Like I'm trying to work. Like, this is because I know Chill, right? Chill only puts himself around certain people. So when when I'm sitting here listening to you, now I understand the conversations I have with Chill all the time. Cause like we alike, so I see what you're doing. Cause I'm sitting on a bunch of music that I was telling Chill the other day. Like I got an exclusive from Doc Ice from UTFO,
dope.
And Chill was just like, oh, it's just like
that's real dope.
And we have the privilege to break other records for certain artists. So I understand where you're coming from.
Cool. Thank you so much too, man. If you guys want to check out the studio, you can go to mountaintopav.com. Mountaintopav.com. And that's where the new studio that I opened with the video side of it is there. And my Godxilla.com needs to be updated, but it exists. And I kind of actually like when I see entrepreneurs who got websites that aren't updated. That means you're busy. If your website got bells and whistles and stuff jumping off the page saying, "What up? Buy me, y'all." Like, you ain't busy.
For those that can't spell Godxilla, could you spell out mountaintopav.com, please?
mountaintopav.com. Mountaintopav.com. Like you climb the top of the mountain.
There you go. So, are there any final questions that anyone may have for the man, the myth, the president of the Wisconsin Engineering Association, Godxilla?
I'm gonna go with founder, the president. I'm gonna leave that with Dustin. I'm gonna go with founder. Thank you.
There you go. He's the founder. That's another accolade he forgot to mention.
Wisconsin Audio Engineering. Hey, if you really want to get in for audio and got questions about serious audio stuff, there's a group on Facebook called Wisconsin Audio Engineering. Go add yourself to that, and I'll approve you to be members. And we got some really, really, really serious engineers in that joint. Bill Hanley, he was the guy who said, "Put Woodstock over here." That guy is in the group. Like, what more can I say? The guy who said, "Put Woodstock here," and he built the system for it is in that group on Facebook. Where else you gonna talk to him at?
Yeah. Hugh, there you go.
No, he was the same guy. He was the same guy that they screamed all over the Beatles and they couldn't hear him with the baseball signal. It was the same guy. He said, "I'm never going to let that happen again," and he built that system for Woodstock.
Wow. Well, when the borders do open up and I make that trip towards Canada, Godxilla, you got to jump in the car with me, man.
I got to get a pardon first, but I'll do it.
I'm with you on that one. I'll try to come on there.
Oh my God. You know what? This is why Talk It Out is the best. You never know what someone's going to say on this show.
Nope.
Do it all censored, too. That's what's so lovely.
Yep.
Hey, I have lawyers for that, so we already looked into that. So we will talk.
Word.
Because I bring artists down here a lot, so you got to go through that once in a while. You know what I mean?
Gucci Man went through it when the Bucks was in the playoffs with Toronto.
Yeah.
I watch it. I see when they come over for entertainment. Believe me, I'm watching. But I qualified for the pardon, so I just got to get that.
There you go. So, look, the boss's face.
It's gangster rap. It ain't family rap.
It was my face. My face. Because I was like.
This just shows that no matter what you go through in life, you could get past it. So
It's hard
just
to
like,
Oh man, wait, look,
on
man.
this thing.
Oh,
I'm from the most heavily incarcerated zip code in the United States of America. I'm born and raised in 53206. More than half of the black males born in that zip code will go to jail at some point in their lives. That's something they out to give us in Wisconsin. Go look up what every state is worse at, and Wisconsin will tell you that it's worse at incarcerating black people.
that is true. That is true. That's
Absolutely, absolute truth. And then at that point, I can show you that Milwaukee has over 82,000 lead laterals. Flint, Michigan, at its peak, only had 45,000 homes infected with lead, but Milwaukee got 82,000. They're here drinking the lead, and it leads to violent crime. I mean, that's a whole different discussion we can have why they built the Fiserv Forum, and then they built the Poly, but they didn't remove the lead from the water like they did in Madison. But community activism wasn't part of this discussion.
Yeah. Go ahead, boss.
Well, he could come on Real Life Matters to talk about that one.
There you go.
At that point, I bring my brother Tory Lowe. He was one of the activists that just walked to Washington.
Bring it
the police
on.
arrested him in Indiana, and they arrested him in Pennsylvania. He got arrested twice in Indiana and once in Pennsylvania while he was walking in D.C. for that protest a couple months back. I'll bring my brother on here, let you kick it with him. He's somebody real heavy.
Well, it's a date. I'll talk with Bill and maybe come on next week.
I'm gonna give him a call. I'm waiting on the recording too, so we can get that beat.
There you go. There you go. So with all of that in mind, despair, you know it's been a time, as we always have. The boss, Hugh, hey, you know how we do it here on Talk It Out? Godxilla, my brother, my friend, my compadre. It is once again a pleasure.
You know how we do.
So, I like that despair. you look so criminalish. So, I couldn't hear a word you said because you're on mute. But
I said, you got to promote your brand. That's just how the game goes.
There you go. There you go. Speaking of promoting brands, this episode was brought to you by Mobbed Up Water. Hydrate and remember, don't forget about it. With that being said, thanks everyone for tuning in to another great episode of Talk It Out. And as we say, man, have a great day.
It's about the time to talk it out.